Hey, hey, hey. Good morning, mommy. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Sending kisses to you and our Evelyn. Good day, everybody. Good day. And welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. And I am Rev Melissa. And SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, Douglas. Spirit and practice. Practice. So it's good to see everybody today. We are wrapping up our communion series, Vanessa. It's time to wrap it up. And so that's what we're going to do today, Nan. We're going to wrap it up. And so I want to offer a quick recap of the week. All right. And I really hope that you all received something from the communion series. Yeah. If you could just pick out one little nugget to hold on to, Gladys, just one thing, that would be fabulous. So here's a recap. So we started off with talking about communion, right? Because what's in the word communion? Union, right? And thinking of communion as companion, yes? As a partnership, as the oneness that we are with spirit, right? And so we started off asking that question: what are you in communion with today? If you ask yourself that question every day, what am I in communion with today? Am I in communion with the indwelling spirit? Am I in communion with the world? Am I in communion? Sometimes we're in communion with the weather, right? We let the weather dictate how we're going to show up in the world. If we're going to be if we're going to be like, oh yes, it's sunny outside, yes, or are we going to be like, oh man, it's raining, I can't do nothing, right? What are we in communion with? Are we in communion with the news, right? What are we in communion with? It's really important to be in communion with that which is lifting us up. That which is lifting us up. I'm convinced that's why the branches go upward, right? Because they're lifting up the vibration. Yes, they're raising these branches to the higher vibration. This tree in my backyard, I got such love for this tree now, y'all. And all of its branches are just raising up. They are just raising up, like saying hallelujah. And I'm like, go ahead, tree, get your praise on, tree. So we're listening for the feeling tone, right? We're listening for the feeling tone, and we're feeling the presence by being in communion, right? Oh, yes. And then we explore communion as a conduit. Y'all remember that morning I woke up to that whisper in my ear that said, you are the conduit. Wake up, right? So we are waking up to who and whose we are every single day. We just don't do it one time. We practice it over and over and over again. Yes? And so when we think about communion, we could think about it in metaphysical, we could think about it in um, as a symbol, right? We look for the symbolism in the communion, right? And so I shared the unity point of view of the bread being divine substance, of the broken bread, because remember, Jesus broke the bread, right? And so that represents the multiplying power of the divine word, multiplying, right? We are the individualized expressions of that bread, of the one, right? And then the wine representing divine life force, the life circulation of divine ideas. What ideas are circulating in your mind, right? And are you in your right mind? What's circulating? What's circulating? Is it serving you or not, right? So we went on to talk about communion as remembrance. Communion as remembrance. And the two questions we had two questions from that. What are you keeping in mind? What are you keeping in mind? And what are you remaining aware of? Right? What are you keeping your mind stayed on? If I'm going to bring up one of our joy songs, woke up this morning with my mind stayed on, and you fill in the blank, right? And so the invitation is for us to keep our mind stayed on whatever that quality of spirit that we are cultivating, right? That we are affirming, that we are declaring, that we are owning. Yes? And we all selected our quality at the beginning of 2021. And you know, now and then I do a roll call. So keep your mind stayed on that quality of God that you are cultivating, that you know that you are already: abundance, love, joy, faith, perseverance, compassion, whatever it is that you are cultivating, bliss, whatever it is, keep your mind stayed on that quality and remain there, right? Remain aware and remain awake of your oneness. All right. So we are practicing remembering because we forget. Stuff happens and we forget. So we have the opportunity to remember over and over and over again, as often as needed, right? We practice remembering as a spiritual practice. And I want to share how that happened and manifested itself for me today. Yes, I see you, Bliss Pamela. I see you, girl. Yes, Pamela is keeping her mind stayed on bliss. That's right. I know that's right. And Doug, I see you too. I am loved and it's expressing through and as me. I know that is the truth. So we are remaining aware of the love and of the bliss and of the qualities that we are cultivating, right? We are remembering who and whose we are. Yes? And then yesterday we talked about communion as agreement. What are you in agreement with? What are you agreeing to every day? What are you in agreement with, right? And the invitation is for us to tap into, to get alignment with our soul's agreement. And remember, I shared that beautiful, I think it was a Jewish legend, Jewish story about the angel and the unborn soul, right? And how the unborn soul remembered everything that it was to know. But then when it came into the world, it forgot. It forgot. And then spends the rest of its time trying to remember, right? And so we're on that journey too, right? We're on that journey of remembering our soul's agreement and bringing it into fruition, taking action in whatever it is that we agreed to experience, what we agreed to be, what we agreed to give, what we agreed to receive. Yes? And so are you in alignment with your divine assignment? Are you in alignment with your soul's agreement? And I also share that beautiful story of my girls, Aria and Zola, and their soul's agreement to come in as the daughters of myself and Marco. Yeah? So is there harmony, right? Check for the harmony in the things that you are agreeing to. Does it feel good? Part of the word, the synonym for agreement is good vibrations, right? So does it feel good? Does it feel good to you, right? And is there some vitality and productivity in it, right? Or is it just stale and stagnant, right? It got to have some spunk and be generative. Yes, because you're producing something. You're in action. It's coming through you and as you. Okay, y'all. So today, as we wrap this up, I am so grateful that I got to experience this in a very profound way today as I was doing my communion as a spiritual practice, right? So I know all of y'all are doing your spiritual practices every single day. That's how you start your day. It's how you reboot yourself. That's how you get into your feeling tone in your prayers and your meditation and your journaling and your inspirational reading. We're all doing it, right? Every day. We don't leave the house without doing our spiritual practice, right? I said before, just like we will go back and get our cell phone. And you know what? I'll also go back and get my earrings. If I leave the house without earrings, I'm going right back to get them. So will you go back and do your spiritual practice? Will you? Will you? Will you go back and be in communion? Right? Be in communion. So this morning I got up and I have a prayer circle that I participate in, did my prayer circle, and then I go into my spiritual practice. And so I've shared many times what my spiritual practice looks like. And we talked about what I'm now calling the 3-3-3-3, right? So even if you feel like you don't have time to do your spiritual practice, to have communion, right? You got time for a 3-3-3-3, right? You got time for 3 minutes of inspirational reading, 3 minutes of inspirational journaling, 3 minutes of meditation, and 3 minutes of prayer. You got what? What is that? 12. That's 12 minutes, right? You got 12 minutes for communion, yes? And growing up in church, communion was like a special Sunday. Thank you, producer. Communion was a special Sunday. It wasn't every single Sunday. It was usually like the first or the last Sunday in the month. And everybody would come dressed in white. It was a whole ritual, and there were rules and there were things that we had to follow. There was a process, right? And so our spiritual practice is our process of coming into the oneness again, right? In a very deliberate and intentional way. It's really important, right? And we treat it as sacred time, right? It's our daily bread. It's our daily bread, our spiritual practice. So I'm in it with you. I'm in it this morning. I'm in my spiritual practice. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling the good vibrations. I'm feeling spunky. I'm like, yes, 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 right? So I go to do my journaling, and this is what comes through when I did my journaling. I want to share this with you all. I think with the ideas of spirit. I hear with the ear of intuitive wisdom. I speak with the tongue of hallelujah. I live within the life of joy. And I feel with the soul of yes. I said, all right now, yes, yes. I had to get up off my bed and do my little praise. I got my little praise dance on this morning. Oh, yes, I did. And sometimes I turn it into like a little stretching exercise. I could throw in something physical, So these are things these are prayers within us that are seeking expression through us and as us. And if I didn't take the time to commune, right, to be in communion with the divine, that wouldn't have come out. That would not have come out. Those words, those 5 lines are a blessing to me, right? I'm going to memorize it. I put it in my phone, in my notes. So throughout the day, I could go back and just say it and read it. When I need those little, sometimes you go through your day and you need that little, you need that little reminder. You need that remembrance, right? And this will help me to remember again. So each one of us has something that's seeking expression. Each one of us, I guarantee, but we have to put ourselves in alignment. We have to be willing to sit still, and let it come through. Let it speak to you, right? Let it speak through you. Let it write out on your page in your journal, right? I'm not doing anything special. I'm telling you right now, I'm not. Meaning that if I could do it, you can do it too. Your intuition is there, right? It's there, just waiting for you to remember that it is. So let's come into communion. Communion with the divine, with the oneness, with faith and with love, and with the certainty that you are here because you agreed. because you agreed. All right, y'all. So that is our communion series. I hope that you received something from it. I hope you received a nugget that you can take and that will give you that little something you might need today. Yes? All right, y'all. All right. So I am Rev Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister. I am a licensed religious science practitioner, and I am a purpose coach. And if you need support, please reach out to me. We can set up some time for a one-to-one consultation. All right. All right. There we go. DM me on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Okay, y'all. So I think we're going to go into some joy news. Let's go into some joy news. Okay, y'all. Y'all remember these dates. Really important, right? I'm going to give you 3 dates today. Saturday, April 24th, tomorrow, is our trunk show of joy. Our trunk show of joy. Asante Jewels by Gladys Williams is happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. There is the Zoom link right there. The information is also at I Am Red Melissa on my Facebook page. Please show up, y'all. Show up at 6 p.m. Gladys was on yesterday showing a couple of her pieces, y'all. And if y'all didn't see that, oh, y'all missed it, but you won't have to miss it for long because she's going to show it again tomorrow, along with a, a treasure trove of other one of a kind, handmade, transformative jewelry. Because that one piece she showed was a necklace that transformed into earrings, that transformed into a brooch, that transformed into a break. Come on. So tomorrow, 6 p.m., spread the news, invite your friends. You could find a Mother's Day gift there, I'm sure. You could find a gift for yourself because you've been doing your work. And I think it's time that you reward yourself. So come tomorrow. Yes, Gladys will be looking for you. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So tomorrow, Zoom, I will be there. Gladys will be there. Say Cool Rights will be there. And we're going to have a good time. Only thing we need is you. So show up. And then on Sunday, April 25th, this is your second date, Live Life Enjoy Show. We are going to have a wonderful time with Rev Kathy and Rev Laura. They are the co-founders of Beloved Now. Beloved Now, which is a healing and empowerment program for women. And their tagline is be seen, be heard, be loved. And they have a gift for a woman of color in our congregation of joy, a full scholarship to their program. So they're going to talk about that on Sunday, and they're going to talk about the work that they're doing in the world, So please tune in for that, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on New Thought Media Network. And then, y'all, Tuesday, April 27th, we are meditating with the moon, the full moon. And guess what, y'all? This is a super moon, and it is a pink moon, and it's in Scorpio. So we're going to have a good time doing a special meditation, a special spiritual practice. It's a wonderful communion. Yes, we're going to have communion on Tuesday, meditating with the moon. Yes, we are. 4 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on New Thought Media Network. So please tune in and participate. The meditations with the moon are an opportunity for us to be in communion with each other in spiritual practice. So it's different from these morning sips, and it's different from living life in joy. It's a special time that we do twice a month to be in spiritual practice with each other. So please participate in that. And then check out the podcast, y'all. I'll be dropping a new episode in the Spiritual Partnership series. The last episode is the spiritual partnership as a feeling tone. What is the feeling tone in your relationships? Something that we don't really think about. We just kind of like go Go with whatever is happening. But what is the feeling tone that we're calling in? What is the quality of our relationships? So I'll be dropping another episode. You can check that out on your favorite podcast platform: Spotify, Apple, Alexa, Amazon, Anchor. So please check that out. And then I think it's time to bring up Sekou Rice, because I haven't had a Hero Hoodie update. I know I didn't have one yesterday because we had Gladys on. So it is time for a Hero Hoodie update. All right, Sekou, what's going
What's
on in
up?
the
What's
world
up?
of
What's
hoodies?
up? All right, so I'm gonna do a quick Hero Hoodie update. But first, I gotta respond to the sip as usual. So you were talking about communion and you ran through the week, which was really nice to kind of recap for everybody, including myself. And I liked your poem that came through in your practice this morning. That was an amazing poem. And it reminded me of something that happened for me. So I made a bracelet. For those of you that don't know, I make jewelry. Oh, those two bracelets that Rev Mail has on right now, boom, I made those. So there we go. I'm not on Gladys's level, but I'm in the game. I'm in the game. So I made a bracelet recently. It was made out of broken stones. I call them ugly bracelets. They're the stones that I don't typically use for clients, but I use them because they remind me that life is not always pretty, but when you step back and look at it as a whole, it's amazing. So I made that and I posted it and I asked for people to give me their suggestions for a name. And they did, and those names sounded poetic. Are you getting an echo?
No.
Okay. So the name sounded poetic, so I strung them together into a poem. And I think that's because I've been communing. I've been in communion. I've been doing my spiritual practice. I do it as often as possible. And so otherwise, I've asked for names before and I've got names and I said, all right, so this is the one that we're going to use. I chose this one, but I've never thought, oh, these names are poetic. I'm going to string them together into a poem. And so that is about communion. So I did it, and I'm just going to read it real quick because it's very short. And it is, I am one with the bluest eye, anointed with that Bluetopia haze. Deep down, true blue, I am an unseen mystic, rooted by the earth, but meditating with the moon. The blue moon, the true moon, is me, forged from blue steel, not easily broken.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so divine.
Yeah. And I ironically, or maybe not ironically, in the flow, I got a text message from a teacher this morning that said, I used your poem in my class today. And I can only assume that she means that poem because I haven't written a poem in a long time. So I'll get the story on that later. So having said all that, Hero Hoodie update. so really quick, I am working with Fisk University. I've mentioned that before. We are the first college to get involved with Hero Hoodies. And I've said that we didn't know what that meant. The first thing it means is that Hero Hoodies will appear on stage as the guard of one of the actors in one of the plays. So I'm excited about that. I want to say more, but I'm starting to hear echo. So
It is.
So that's my brief Hero Hoodie update, and I will continue more tomorrow without the headphones. Or no, on Monday without the headphones.
Yes.
All right, later.
All right, all right. And I have one of the so-called broken. This one is made from some of the broken stones, rocks, and it's beautiful. You see that? It's beautiful. I have my ankh, and it's my warrior protection. Yeah, it's beautiful, y'all. It's beautiful. All right, y'all. So I will see you all tomorrow, 6 p.m. Trunk Show of Joy on Zoom. You have the link. Please share the news, share the joy news, y'all. And it's an event. So show up and know that you can leave with something that no one else will have. No one else will have. All right? All right, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful Friday. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.